Hey there everyone, it's Anthony back with another video here on Single and Placing. Hi. I hope everyone's having a fantastic day, weekday, weekend, week, month, evening, morning, overnight, all of that good stuff. We are here with a vlog, as you can see, and we are headed to the dog area, P-A-R-K. It is Monday at the time of filming this. I'm hoping I'll be able to get this edited and up by Wednesday, trying to keep them like close together. Yeah, trying to do them as quickly and as in real time as possible. And it's been working out okay. The last one I did, I think the day before or 2 days before, so hopefully this will be of the same style. But yeah, I just finished work a little bit ago, came home, picked up Apollo. He was in his crate today, and now we are headed out. So yeah, I hope everyone's doing well. Make sure to leave in the comments how things are going. I've been checking those once a week on Thursdays, so if you did comment between last week and this week, I'll get to it. I try to respond to everyone in some form or fashion. So yeah, gosh, what's been going on over the past week? It's weird because I used to do these multiple times a week, so I didn't have a ton, and now I'm almost like back when I was doing it a lot, I didn't have a ton to talk about every single time, and now that I let a whole week go by, it's like I feel like I forget a bunch of stuff that happened, so then I'm like, oh, I don't know what to talk about still, so I don't know what the right mix is, but as far as life stuff goes, since the last vlog, work was same old. It's actually getting even busier now. Even though it's supposed to be slowing down, it's actually getting busier. But keeping my head above water as best I can. It's just, those days at work, especially my in-office days, I sit down at like 6:30, 7 o'clock, and I feel like I get up to go to the bathroom, get up once to go get lunch or something, but other than that, and I bring my lunch back to my desk, and I'm just like, go, and the days just go by so quick, but I still feel like I'm behind. Like, I got home today and still made a few more phone calls even after work. I spent like half an hour outside while Apollo was outside with me, going potty and running around and stuff after I let him out of his crate, and I'm still making calls and extending offers to candidates and stuff, and so I did 3 of those, and I was like, all right, we're done. It's almost 5 o'clock. Like, you're already pushing 10, 11 hours today, so that's good. So that's enough work, so the rest will be there tomorrow, so hopefully get a little bit caught up at work over the next couple of days and Thursday, because I have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday off this coming weekend. So I kind of want to make sure that I put everything in a good place. That way I'm not leaving a ton of work for my coworker. She actually went on vacation or had a long weekend last week, and she didn't think that there was going to be a lot for me. It ended up being a decent amount, so I ended up working late on Friday and late on Thursday, so it's been a lot of long days. So hopefully there's light at the end of the tunnel, but every time I say that, knock on wood, we get another new position that has opened up that we need to start on. So we'll see. I mean, it's job security, but I was hoping that it would quiet down slightly, but I don't know. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but anyway, other than that, things are going well. Apollo's doing good. My little boy back here, he's ready to rock and roll. We went camping this past weekend. We went up to, it's near Kremling is the name of the town. Kremling, Colorado. It was a little campsite about 20 minutes outside of Kremling. Kind of out in the middle of nowhere, really awesome camp spot. There was probably about 16 of us, I think, total. So big camping party, a ton of fun. We had a great time. I tried taking little video shots and photos and stuff, but it was just kind of a fun friends day. Like, no one was really taking pictures and stuff. We just kind of all did our own thing, and it was a bunch of friends plus friends of friends. So I was like, I don't know if they want me taking pictures of them and recording video. So at first I was like, I'm gonna film this whole thing and share it. But I'll do a camping vlog, a longer vlog, at some point when me and Apollo just kind of go solo, which might even be this coming weekend, but we'll get to it. So yeah, it was a good time. I went up by myself. That way, Apollo could sit in the back, and we're not cramming a bunch of stuff or extra people in the car. So me and Scott took separate vehicles, and then Jeff, my other roommate, he drove up separately with his girlfriend, and then our roommate Spencer ended up not going. So yeah, it was a good time, and just hung out, made some burgers, sat by the fire. They have some throwing axes that we were playing with, and then that evening I went on about a 3-mile hike with Apollo, just kept going up the road, and we found some other camp spots that were really cool. It was right next to this stream, so Apollo was jumping around in that, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. The only thing that was not fun is I left my trunk open, so we could grab our food or whatever, grab some snacks, this and that, out of the trunk as we needed it, but I didn't realize the trunk light doesn't turn off on its own, it stays on. So my battery died, which is such a weird concept because this is a hybrid, but it uses an actual separate car, like a normal car battery, to start the car, to run the accessories, all that stuff. It doesn't pull from the hybrid battery other than when you're driving. And so my battery died. I had to have somebody jump my car in the morning, which it was not a big inconvenience. The only thing that was inconvenient is I had kind of blocked everyone in because I arrived a little bit later than some folks. So I had blocked a few people in, but they were able to kind of Tetris their way out. They wanted to leave super early in the morning, so I got up super early, tried to check the car again. It was completely dead. And so they kind of had to Tetris, but it was only one car that needed to leave that early. So they got out, and then I went back and made coffee and did my morning stuff. And then one of our buddies, Doug, that was up there, he just pulled his truck behind. Oddly, my battery's in the trunk. So he pulled up to the trunk, and boom, like that. As soon as he connected to his car, my car alarm went off, we've got life. So I had to turn that off and start the car and just let it run for a little while, and then off we went. So I almost went and got a new battery, but according to my friends, because I was like, how is it that a couple of trunk lights, because there's 2 or 3 in there, can drain a battery? They're like, you'd be surprised. That'll zap it if you leave it, leave your trunk open for even a couple of hours. And I had it open the whole day. So yeah, that was a mistake. Now I know, shut the trunk. Just because you're camping doesn't mean you can just leave all the lights on and stuff. So yeah, we did that, and then came back yesterday, which was Sunday. Once again, time of filming this is Monday. So came back yesterday, got home at a relatively decent hour, 11, noonish. Did some chores. I think I listened to a portion of Mia's live, but I don't think I commented or was really engaging. I kind of just put it on for a couple minutes, and then something else distracted me, or I think maybe someone had called. So went and just worked on house stuff, hung out with Spencer in the backyard, did some diamond painting, some organizing of some kits and stuff, which once again, we'll get to all that. Just kind of tidied up a little bit. I still have work to do. I still have all my camping stuff in here, so I need to unload this stuff and get it all put away. And then I need to talk to Scott because I left before he did. He was still asleep. And so I packed up my tent and got out of there, and I left him the cooler because it still had the eggs and the juice and stuff and the coffee and the stove, the little burner, like Coleman stove, and the fuel and a mug for the coffee, like left all the stuff to make breakfast. Like there was sausage in there. Because I was like, well, I'm going to head out, but he's still sleeping. I'll just leave all the stuff for him. But I didn't see it in his truck when he came back. So I'm like, did he not realize that I left it right next to his front tire? Like, did he not realize that was um, our stuff and left it? So I just need to touch base with him. Maybe he brought the cooler in the house. I don't know. So I'd like to get my cooler back, and I'd like to get my stove back. So we'll see. We'll see where that ended up. I mean, if somebody else ended up snagging it because he left it behind, then I'll just have to snag it from whoever. But yeah, so that happened. But yeah, Sunday just kind of relaxed, kind of regrouped. I was super tired. We stayed up around the fire pretty late. So just kind of relaxed, took a nap, took Apollo for a super short walk, but he was running around and bounding around and finding all the bones and dead animals. And like when you give your dog raw bones and like raw meat, like raw meaty stuff, and he has a nose for it, and so he would just disappear and come back with some like hunk of something in his mouth. I'm like, what the heck? So I'd have to distract him, throw it into the creek so he couldn't get it again, and then he'd go out half an hour later and come back with some other gross piece of a deer or whatever, or a rabbit, and I'd have to go and get a bunch of paper towels and dispose of it. And I'm like, oh my gosh. But he had a blast. He was all over the place, running around. This dog, because it's kind of, there's some ranches and stuff like kind of up around there, or just property. And so there was a couple of ranch dogs that throughout the course of the weekend came down from just wherever they were and just tried to eat the treats and eat the food and drink the water and mess with the dogs. And they were friendly for the most part, but he was just like chasing them around, and like I was trying to corral him back, and he'd calm down, but then the dog would disappear up a hill and then come back later and start to, get everybody riled up. And there was 3 dogs there: Apollo, this little dog named Charlie, and then Bowie. So all 3 dogs were like not having it. Like Apollo didn't mind. He likes to play. So he was like, oh, a new friend. But the other dogs seemed a little like scared, a little defensive. And Charlie, the little dog, actually doesn't play well with other dogs, but she played well with Apollo, like at least tolerated him. But they were chasing each other, and she'd like bark at him and run at him, but her tail was wagging the whole time. So her owner was like, oh my gosh, she never plays with dogs. That was crazy. I'm like, he's a pretty lovable guy. He's just got a lot of intense energy, and he wants to play a lot. So some dogs like that don't normally play with other dogs, they're fine for a little bit, but then after a while I could tell she was like, dude, like get away from me. So it was fun though. We had a good time. It was especially nice to get out of the city, even though it was still kind of smoggy up there, or smoky. But we are experiencing some crazy haze and really bad air quality here in Colorado / Denver. There's some fires up in Canada, I guess, and the smoke is like making its way south, and it's sitting in the kind of valley of the foothills here in Colorado. So Denver's had like the worst air quality, like in the top 10 of worst air quality in the world right now, just because of all this dense smoke and haze that's just sitting here. And so I can see like maybe a mile down the road, but like I can't, like at a certain point it just gets hazy, and you can't really see the mountains right now. Like all that behind us is all haze. That's not sky. I mean, it's sky, but it's all thick haze and just kind of nastiness. So my Dyson air purifier fan in the house has been running double time trying to clean everything. But yeah, it's not great. I wouldn't work out in this. Like we're not gonna run or anything, but he does need his exercise. I can't just keep him cooped up in the house. And I don't even know how long this will last. I'm hoping we get a good rain soon, and maybe the rain will help to kind of scrub it a little bit. But it's been gross all weekend. Up in the mountains it wasn't nearly as bad, but down here it's pretty thick, and it's almost kind of yellow. This morning the sun was like red, just from the amount of smoke in the air. So, ugh. But you know, these things happen. Luckily, it's been super wet here this spring so far, and we had a good winter as far as snowpack. So I'm hoping we have enough moisture to not have to deal with the knock on wood the fires of it all. But I feel like this. They also say this year is going to be really hot, so it might just. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? It was really damp up in the mountains, like even the ground just had that kind of dampness to it, and the stream was very full. You could tell it's fuller than it had normally been. Very fast moving water in this little creek stream thing, and just in the morning, everything had like a dew to it. So hopefully that bodes well for us this summer, but we're still getting the smoke from other places right now. But that's that. The other thing that happened is on Friday night. So I didn't head up to camp until Saturday morning, and then came back. It was just a one night deal. Came back on Sunday. But on Friday night, my roommate Jeff and his girlfriend, they were really excited to see Fast 10. And so we went and saw Fast 10, but it's at a movie theater in downtown Denver. One of the theaters is called 4DX. I don't know if you're familiar, but essentially it's sections of seats of four. I think it's like four seats in a little clump. They look like normal movie theater seats, but they're a little bit more. They're a little bit more like office chair kind of. You sit a little bit more kind of straight up, and then there's a little thing that you rest your feet on. So you're not resting your feet on the ground. You're resting them on this little platform, like a little catch. So you almost kind of step up into the seat a little bit. And as the movie is playing, the seats are just like rocking back and forth and forward and back. Not enough to throw you out of it, because you're not like buckled in or anything. It's just a chair, but it's enough to really get you jostling around. I guess if you weren't paying attention or weren't prepared for it, you might kind of stumble, but it's not that intense. But it's enough to get everyone moving and grooving. And then they have these big fans in the theater, so like if there's wind, it'll blow these fans. And then there's like a mist, so if there's like rain or like water involved, they can mist you or even spray you with little jets of water. And then there's like this thing behind your legs, behind your calves, that'll like blow water and like flick you. And then there's little jets of air behind your ears that'll like blow. So if there's like gunshots, it's like pew pew like behind your ears. There's a smoke machine too, so if there's like a fire or like an explosion, a big like plume of smoke will come up from like the front of the theater and kind of drift its way back. I guess some of them even have smells, and I thought they were trying to mimic a certain smell at one point in the movie, but I was like, maybe it's just me thinking that it is because I know this thing can do it, but I'm not really sure. But yeah, just like jets of air and movement, and so it's supposed to like be more interactive. And I guess they sometimes also do it with the 3D glasses, so everyone's wearing glasses. But this movie was just a regular movie, which I kind of liked. I'm not a big fan of the glasses, like the 3D glasses, because then I have to take mine off. So it was a blast. I've only seen the first like 3 Fast and Furious movies. I've never really been into that franchise or that series. It's fine, but it was more interesting when I was younger. The first 3 movies came out when I was much younger, so I was more into it then. But I've still always loved cars. It was so ridiculous and over the top, but I think that's like the whole thing. Like, it's just like a spectacle. And so we had a blast. I absolutely loved it. We were just cackling the whole time because of just like how absurd some of the situations were. So we were just loving it, and Scott went too, and we just had an absolute like crazy good time. And so we were camping and telling everyone about it, and there was like 6 other people that were like, we'd actually want to go do that. I was like, are we about to go see this movie again? So, and I haven't been to the theater since pre-lockdown. So it's been 3 years since I've been to a movie theater. So it was just really, I think there was the novelty of it being in a theater too that was really cool. So I had a lot of fun. I would go back. I don't know if I'd do that 4DX for every movie or every movie that they offered it in. I think it paired well with Fast and Furious. Just it made sense. But they did some trailers for like a Disney movie where that's coming out called like Elemental or something that uses the 4DX, and even in the trailer when it started happening, it was like, oh, is this what it's gonna be like? Like the timing was a little bit off. It didn't really like it wasn't as engaging as that same style with like car races and planes, you know what I mean? Like it just made more sense with Fast and Furious. So or Fast 10, I suppose. But yeah, it was an event for sure. But we had a blast, and then after the movie was over, we went out and went to this little bar down the way, and I was driving, so I was like, no, I'll just have my water and enjoy it. But we were just going on and on about how awesome seeing that movie in that style of like the moving seats and stuff. It was just so much fun. So I will most likely be going again at some point. We'll see. But I'd like to see what other movies they end up bringing to that. And I guess there's not a ton of theaters that have it. I think they said 30 some theaters in the US have this moving seats with the air and the scents and the wind and the water. Hang tight, buddy. Hang tight. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. And then the next morning we went up to camp. So that's been the majority of the week this past week. I got some stuff in, so I guess we'll talk a little bit about diamond painting stuff here. But yeah, other than that, nothing too crazy. And this week is shaping up to be not too crazy either. Like I said, I've got that 4-day weekend. So what I'm thinking I want to do is probably stay home on Friday. I don't know. I'm thinking of either going up and camping, just me and Apollo, on Friday night, and then coming back Saturday, just doing a one night. And then we'd still have Sunday and Monday, or doing Saturday, Sunday, and then having at home days on either bookend. I haven't quite figured that out yet. I was also maybe thinking like, let's scrap the camping and just do some hikes, just because I need to start hiking more. We haven't really been doing it because it's been so rainy. And so if the weather holds and it's dry enough, then maybe it's time to do some hikes. So I don't know, we could do a camp and hike. I'm not sure. So I'm still trying to think about it, but I do want to give myself some time to really get into diamond painting and try to potentially get one more whip done. I'm not too concerned about it, but if I could, get another one done before Summer with the Masters starts, that would be cool. But I'm not too concerned. I'm just kind of working on kits as I work on them, and I haven't really been diamond painting a lot this past week. I just, with work. I didn't realize this person stopped. You good? You're good. Sorry, I didn't realize this person was coming to a full stop. I thought they were just slowing down. So yeah, once I get off work, and I'm usually working an hour and a half later each day than I normally do. So I'm on, days that I leave Apollo at home, I'm racing home to let him out. We go right on our hike. And then Scott and Bowie have been wanting to go on walks with us, so then I don't film that. And then we get home and I'm making dinner, and then I just kind of want to veg out. I haven't really been doing a ton of diamond painting. So I need to get back on it, try to crank through some stuff. I think tonight, depending on time, I might actually set the diamond painting table up outside and just diamond paint outside, because it's been warm, in the high 60s, low 70s the past couple of days. So I can diamond paint outside until it gets dark, and then all the moths start coming out and flying around my ring light that I bring out there for lighting, and so I have to pack it up and bring it inside. But it's kind of nice diamond painting outside. I like it. So yeah, But we are just coming up on the dog park. I brought my action camera and stuff camping, and I'm pretty sure I left it. I know I left a good portion of it in here, but I don't know if I left my actual camera in here. So if I didn't, and I left it at home or it's in a different backpack, then we might just have to use my phone. So we might get some shaky footage back to the old days where I didn't have my chest mount. But I'm thinking I left it in here. I don't see why I would have brought it in without bringing the rest of it in. So fingers crossed we have the equipment we need to do this. But it looks relatively quiet here at the dog park, so we should have some good chat time. But you'll be able to see once I get the camera set up, if I have it, the amount of smog, because you can barely see the mountains right now. It's kind of crazy. So, all right, well, I'm going to go ahead and park, pull in, get us all clipped up and buckled up, and we will start talking about all of our diamond painting exploits. So let me just park, okay? Bye. Camera's working. So yeah, this is looking out west towards the mountains that we usually start at, and as you can see, it's very smoggy and hazy out today. But that's okay. We'll survive. We'll make it through this. Like I said, I'm hoping that we get a good rain that'll come through and maybe kind of scrub some of this from the sky, but who knows. But yeah, here we are on our famous dog walk that we always go on. I've found that when it comes to recording vlogs and talking, it is much easier, to go on a hike up in the mountains, like up in the mountains where there aren't that many people, and I can just kind of explore and just kind of wander and chat with you all kind of fairly aimlessly. So that's one option, which I'll start doing more now that, it's not raining as much. I don't mind hiking. I really don't mind hiking in the rain, but if it's been raining for days and it's just a muddy mess, that's usually when I'm just like, let's go somewhere close. So hopefully this weekend, I'd love to get one good rain down here in Denver because of the smog, but if it starts to dry up a little bit for the season, that's also not too bad of a thing, because then I'm not just slogging through crazy mud, and I can just go up there with Apollo and you all and just kind of talk fairly aimlessly and just kind of wander or follow the trail and not have to think about it or stress. The other option is coming to some place that I know exactly where we're going. I know all the escape routes. If there's too many people, I know how to where to go to have a little bit more quiet so I can not feel awkward about chatting to my, just talking with no one else physically here. So that's why I usually come to this dog park or the other one in Boulder, is just because it's a little easier to manage. Apollo, I know where his distraction points are, it's just a little bit easier. But the few times that I've tried going to hikes or walks that are here in the foothills and it's a new place and there's a ton of people, I end up not really, I don't end up posting the videos, or I end up giving up because I get turned around, I get frustrated, and Apollo's running around and getting into stuff, and I don't know where he's going, and there's lots of other dogs and stuff. So I think it's easier for me when it comes to just talking to be in a safe, familiar place. So that's why I usually, I think I came up here last week and the week before, just because we haven't been going on longer hikes on the weekends quite yet. But we're almost there. It's almost time for us to really hit summer and get on the road. So yeah, that's what's going on with us. What else? What else is going on? I'm going to stay on this path a little bit longer than we normally do, just because With this higher grass, I worry about the snakes. So we're not going to cut through the grass this time. We're going to stay on this little cutout path until it actually turns into the other path. So you might be seeing a slightly new area, but that just means we're going to be up against the road a little bit longer, so just keep that in mind. But yeah, super excited for this long weekend. I'm looking forward to ideally getting maybe some more camping in, at least some more hiking and bopping around. Ooh, it does get muddy up here. You ready to go off-road? Come on. We're gonna cut through here. So yeah, I just have to just kind of, oh, it's muddy. Okay, come on. Oh, we're both gonna be muddy, Apollo. Come on. Don't get on that side. Come on. Let's go. Oops. Sorry, folks. Hold on. Ugh. I'm sure you can hear it. It's like squish, squish, squish. Okay. We're through it. Come on. Yeah, just get out more, start really getting into the thick of the outdoors season. This first camping trip was such a good start. We had an absolute blast, so it's only going to be more of that, hopefully. But yeah, let's see if we can get up to this road. I'm going to keep him on leash until we get a little bit further away from the road here. And I left my Apple Watch on while we were camping the whole weekend. Got home, set it on the side table. Didn't think to charge it, just, when we got home on Sunday morning, I actually took a nap because I was just tired before I started working on the house. So I just left it there and then didn't pick it back up again until this morning. Got ready and snagged that, and as soon as I put it on, it's like 10% battery. I was like, I'll charge it at work. Then, of course, work gets busy and I get distracted, and it died while I was at work. So we got home and I was like, no, I was going to use that to record a workout today. But that's okay. I think my phone at least records the distance and stuff, but it won't record like calories burned or anything like that because it doesn't have any, the watch has sensors on your wrist that keeps track of all that stuff. But at least my phone should keep track of, hey, it looks like you were walking or taking steps because it's in your pocket, So we'll see. I've been kind of neglecting to see where I'm at on my Conqueror challenge. I had mentioned it for a few weeks in a row that I am doing a walking challenge or just like a distance challenge with another diamond painter. Uh-oh. What's up? Something hurting you? Another diamond painter, Jeffrey Morrison, over at Echoes of Color. He was doing these walking challenges with this app called Conqueror, and I ended up doing one. And then now we're doing one together. We're on a team. We're doing the Great Wall of China. So he's kind of kicking my butt. He started after me, but he's already caught up and I think passed me. He does a combination of being on the treadmill and he'll do cycling, I think he does, or maybe an elliptical. So he does tend to cover more distance than me because I just walk or hike, sometimes run, rarely run, but sometimes run. Okay, we're away from the road now, so he's caught up and passed me, but between the two of us, we're really knocking out the Great Wall of China. I set my goal as giving myself a year to get it done, and I think he and I are about 2 months into it, maybe a month and a half into it, and we're already like halfway. So we're really making good progress. I try to get in at least a couple miles a day, especially with the pup. Apollo, let's go. Hey. Come on. There's so many new smells out here with all this grass and stuff coming up. He's going to be extra distracted today. So, come on. But that's okay. I'm trying to learn to just let him smell his smells. It's mainly the snakes that I'm worried about. I just don't want him to get hurt. So, and he's such a little curious dog, you know, if he heard one, I'm sure he would be more, I don't know, maybe his instincts would kick in, but I feel like he'd be more inclined to go try to find it than to be scared of it. But I just got to kind of keep an eye on things. But anyway, so we're working on the Conqueror Challenge. I haven't even opened the app to see where I'm at compared to where Jeffrey's at in like a week. So I should probably do that when I get home because it automatically uploads. Like if I do a workout and I finish like a 5-mile walk, it automatically syncs it to the Conqueror app. I don't have to go in there and like upload or like add it myself. It just all takes care of itself. So there's not really a big reason to go on there. The only thing that is nice is it'll be like, hey, you just passed this really cool point of interest. So they'll show you like a little YouTube video or some photos of what you just virtually walked by. So that's the one thing that I am missing is I haven't looked at any of my updates, or they call them postcards. I haven't looked at very many for the Great Wall of China. So I should probably do that because there's probably some cool stuff that I'm quote unquote walking by. But once this is done, once the Great Wall is done, I'll probably do another one. And I've said it before, but if anyone's interested in joining along and doing that challenge, another challenge, let me know. Essentially, you just have to buy the challenge. You get a medal at the end. Like I said, it's a little bit interactive with like the videos and stuff, but it is a good motivator. It keeps me excited to put miles in every day. So yeah, that's what's going on there. Come on, let's go, Bubba. Let's go. That's what's going on there. I guess we can talk about our diamond painting stuff as we do. As far as my whips go, start with the stuff I haven't touched. You know the drill. I was thinking this is an idea, so I'm calling it in case somebody else ends up doing it later. But I've always liked the idea of maybe doing a podcast where I just chat about stuff. At one point I thought I was going to do a skincare one, and in fact I did start it. And all I would do is just read my blog reviews of skincare. I would just read them aloud, and that would be like an episode. I think I did like 2 or 3. I forget what I ended up calling it, but I did like 2 or 3, and then I just didn't have time. It's a lot of investment of extra time to like post podcasts, and yeah, that's just it goes from a hobby to like consuming. It's like a full-time job. So I ended up only doing that for a little bit before I was like, I'd rather just write the blog posts and not worry about recording them. But I was like, it'd be really cool to have a diamond painting one where we just talk about brands and different products and maybe do artist spotlights, kind of like the YouTube version, but just like listening. And I wanted to call it, You Know the Drill, because of, diamond drills. So I'm taking that idea. I'm going to hold on to it. Nobody else do it. But eventually I might start a podcast called You Know the Drill. And just have like different shop owners and stuff on it. Apollo, let's go. Yeah, he's fine. I learned while we were camping, like he just gets so into his scents until I can formally train him. Like he gets so into his smells. His nose is so sensitive that he just likes to investigate, and it probably get him in trouble someday. But if I just keep walking, he does have that like wants to be close to dad, a little bit of that separation stuff. So if I get far enough away, he will just be like, oop, okay, all right, let's go. We got to get close to him again. So I'm trying to trust him a little bit more. But especially out here is like I can see everything. I know where all these paths go. I'm not too concerned. But why did I bring up, you know the drill? Because I said the phrase, you know the drill, about about my whips. So the Jaded Gem Shop Mystery Kit is kitted up, not started. The Craftably Kit Sunset Crossing is kitted up, not started. And then Lady with Fan, which is my pre-packaged kit for Summer with the Masters, is kitted up, not started. And I won't start that one until June 1st. So there's those. I still need to order my drills from DP with Sparklers. I thought I had already done it. I built the entire cart, and then I think something distracted me. I don't know what it was, but I ended up not purchasing it because I went to go look like a couple days later. I was like, oh, when are those gonna get here? Because I'll need to kit those up into my storage container for Lady with Fan. And I went to pull up the DP with Sparkler site to see if it had been fulfilled, because they're usually really quick about it. And I hadn't even clicked order, like there was no purchase. So it's like, what the heck did I do? Why did I not do that? So I still need to do that. I'll probably do that when I get home tonight, or I'll just do it on my phone. I'm gonna try to stop and find some sort of dinner. Let's go, Bubba. I might just get groceries to make food at home. I haven't decided yet, but go. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll stop and get some sort of Asian food. Yesterday, I had Vietnamese egg rolls for dinner, and I couldn't eat them all. There was like 3 of them, and I only ate 2. So I have one of those left. So maybe I'll just get like a little soup at the grocery store, or maybe one of those little like PF Chang's, throw it in a skillet meals. I'm not sure. I'll just have that with my egg rolls. But anyway, so those are my 3 kits that have not been touched. No drills. Kits that are in progress but no progress this past week. Darth Vader cross-stitch conversion from Francesca Studio Arts. Studio Works. I don't know why I keep getting that messed up. Francesca's Studio Works. The canvas is from Heaven and Earth Designs. That one I haven't touched this past week. And then I have Crimson Oracle from Craftably. That one, no progress on. I didn't touch it this past week. I have Star Maker from Yume Art. I did 1 section of that, I think, last week. I'm about 50-ish% done with it, maybe a little bit more. So it should go quick. I was really on a tear with that one. I did like 4 sections. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna post this to Instagram and really knock this one out in the next few days. And then I decided to open up a different project, and so I switched over to that one. I don't know if I'm a serial starter. I feel like it right now because I'm doing 2 kits for a specific event. So if I was not co-hosting Summer of the Masters, I'd probably just do like Lady with the Fan or something to participate in the event, but I wouldn't be like dropping other stuff. You know what I mean? Like I could still focus on Star Maker through the summer and, you know, that kind of thing. But once June 1st hits, I have a feeling I'm going to be all old masters for like 2 months. I think. So yeah, Star Maker got like a section done. And then, who else is hanging up? Oh, Senorita. I think I did a couple colors on it, not too much, just like a couple colors. Maybe spent about 30 minutes to an hour just kind of working on a little bit of it, but nothing too major to report there. And then I also have, what's another one? Oh my gosh, now I'm blanking. Senorita. Okay. Well, we're coming up on some folks, so I'm going to actually just go ahead and pause you, and then hopefully while I'm pausing, I will remember. Apollo, stay. Easy. Good boy. Okay, hold on just a second. Okie dokie. We've got a couple of minutes, but there's some more folks coming down the pipeline here in a couple minutes, so just keep that in mind. Okay, so I started, I think I mentioned it on my last vlog, I started on Moussenet Labmousse by Ernst Haeckel for Summer with the Masters. It's a big old cross-stitch conversion, and so I went ahead and got started on it. Nowhere near as much progress as I thought I'd be making. I was like, ooh, if I could get into Summer with the Masters already 10% done or 15% done, that'll really set me up to get that. There's a greater chance that I'll get that kit done, because it is a massive, I think it's 85.5 by 120 centimeter, very detailed, confetti heavy cross stitch conversion with like 254 colors. So it's just very time consuming. Each time I do like a 3x3 section, which is 900 squares, it takes me about an hour and a half to get it done, depending on how much color change there is. But it's just a very time consuming project, so I don't foresee myself getting that done during the event. I'd love to, but realistically I don't think it'll happen. But I was like, if I could crank through like 10 or 15% between now and the start of the event, that'll probably set me up pretty good. Well, I'm at like 2.7%, and I've been working on it for a week, so I might be closer to like 5-6% by the time June 1st starts. So a more realistic number would probably be like I'll get half of it done during the event, and then maybe I'll bring it back out for cross stitch conversion 23. So Apollo, easy, come here, easy, good boy, easy, good boy, this way. Hang on just a second. Okie dokie, cool. Sorry about that. It's just easier. I was listening back to like some other vlogs, and typically I just stop talking and just walk past folks and leave the camera running, but I'm trying now to like stop it, cut it, start a new clip. That way it's A, shorter of a video, and B, you don't have those like awkward pauses while people just look at me like, why do you have all this stuff on? So yeah, but these folks up here don't look like they have a dog, so I think we can just cruise right by. Hi buddy, hi buddy, are you getting your exercises? Oh yes. So yeah, that Ernst Haeckel is a slow-moving project, definitely bigger than I think a 2-month project. I mean, it's much larger than Head of Medusa, and it's got like 3 times the colors, 4 times the colors, and that took me 2 months. So, I mean, if we do the math there, like this might take me 4 months, if not longer, to get done. So, but I am really enjoying it. The drills and the canvas are just fantastic from Jaded Gem Shop, so it just makes it really easy. And the colors are just awesome. I mentioned it before, but there's like these nice sparkly kind of minty greens and like a kind of crystally like sky blue and these fun yellows. And it's just, at least the area that I'm working in right now, it's like kind of the sky and a little bit of the greenery, and it's just really pretty colors to work with, bright corals. So I'm really enjoying it. I'll have to post a progress photo on June 1st so you can kind of see where I'm at right now. But yeah, let me get past these folks. I'll be right back. Are those new friends? He like kind of sniffed him a little bit, and then he comes running up to me like jumping like, hey, aren't you gonna talk to them? I'm like, no, I'm not. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. So that's Moussenet Labmousse. And then one of the little like mini projects that I did over the weekend is I got in my Jaded Gem Shop replacement drills or substitution drills for McKeeling. I wasn't expecting them so quickly. I know that Jade said that they were like about to ship, but I think she did share a tracking number with me. And then I was able to look it up and I was like, okay, it's still in China. I ended up getting from her supplier to me in about a week, I think. So, I mean, I guess it moved as I expected once I got the tracking number, but yeah, it was, or I guess it moved quickly once I got the tracking number. I was surprised like it didn't sit in a bunch of different customs for however long. But the box came in on Friday and it was this giant, I kid you not, it was as tall as me, I'm 5'10", this giant 5'10" box, like you normally get a diamond painting in, but that long. It was huge and super duper heavy. And inside were my substitution drills, as well as one of my purchases from Jade, which is the Garden of Earthly Delights by Hieronymus Bosch. So that came in with the substitution drills. And so I got those substitution drills out, cracked them open, and I went through and essentially re-kitted up Makiling. So if it was a color that was staying, it stayed. And then if it was a color I was replacing, then I pulled those containers of the old drills out, set them in a different little section of the storage case. Oh, hold on. Apollo, easy. Hi. Okay, let's go. Set them in a separate storage case. Apollo, stay with me, bud. Set them not in a separate storage case, but it's a 120 container set, and I think there's only like 43 colors in that kit. So there's plenty of space in the other like tray of jars to set aside the spares, or the ones I was replacing. So I set them aside. I don't know what I'm gonna do with them. I just held on to them. I was like, what if I run out of one of my replacement colors, or there's not really a good reason why I'm holding on to them. Maybe at the end or during a whip and chat with that kit at some point, maybe I could actually show the difference in shade of the actual drills. Because I showed the difference of swatches of DMCs, but now I have the actual drills, and it's pretty stark difference on a lot of them. I was surprised. So swapped those all out, re-kitted it up, and I just numbered them rather than writing the DMCs on my stickers. I just have them numbered 1 through 40 whatever, because now the DMCs don't match what's on the legend, if that makes sense. Like, I can't look at the legend anymore and say, oh, number 14 is DMC 799, because now it's not. It's probably something else. So that's what I did there. And once that was all done, of course, I couldn't help myself, and I sat down and got a section of that done with the new color scheme, and I'm fairly happy with how it looks. I was really nervous. I was like, I hope I didn't screw this up. I hope I didn't, do all of this in vain and it's gonna look terrible. Hang tight. Okay. We've got someone coming up. Yeah, I was really worried that I was like immediately gonna be like, ooh, this was a mistake. But now I did just a little bit more before we left to come up here, and it's looking good. Let me get past this, or let this person run past us, and then we'll get into it. Let's go. That was a cute little dog. Come on, big boy. Okay, it looks like we're in the clear for some bit clear. So yeah, it's pretty interesting to see the color difference right next to each other. Like I started at kind of the top of it, where the orange swoop, there's like this orange streak that goes through the sky. And so it went from like a deep pumpkin orange, and now it's much brighter and more vibrant. And it's like, wow, like already that looks so much different. And then I got to the figure, Maria McKeeling, her face and her skin tone, I just finished that up before we came up here, and it's such a big difference in the face. Like, now it's more of that greenish, kind of olivey green, yellow, much more closer to the original image. And it looks pretty good in her hair now. Like the light blue is this bright blue. The darker blue is much more of like a more vibrant navy and not like a muted grayish navy. So it just looks, it looks more kind of cartoonish, which I think is a lot closer to the original image. So I'm very happy with it. I'll probably share an update picture once I get another column done. I don't know if there's quite enough to show the difference yet, but I think I was surprised by how much it brightens up the image. So I hope everyone else is too. So yeah, I've got that going. I'm gonna probably work on that tonight and tomorrow and maybe Wednesday, make that my main squeeze, because I do want to get a couple columns done so I can post a progress report or a progress photo up on Instagram. So I'd like to sink my teeth into that one a little bit, and then maybe switch over to back over to Moosonee Lob Moose for a little bit, just to get some more percentage points of that done. Let's go this way. He's not paying attention, and then he stepped on a cactus. And then he's like, oh. But luckily their quills are like really, Apollo, come on, let's go. Apollo, come on. The little spikes on these cactus are really dense, and like, they're not those tiny little like hair wispy ones that'll just get in. They're like thick barbs, and so even if he brushes anywhere near it, he's like, oh, never mind. But they don't come off, which is nice. Well, at least they haven't yet. Let's go, buddy. Hi. You're such a goofball. So yeah, that's my progress in McKeeling. The other thing that's nice is the drills I ordered from Jaded Gem Shop are resin rounds, which you don't see that often, and they are very nice to work with. They're a little bit more conical, like more of like a pyramid kind of cone shape with, and you can see the individual facets, as opposed to not all the colors from the DIY Moon Shop, but I'd say all of them except one. I think they might get their drills from different suppliers, because there's one that is kind of conical and has the facets cut into it, and then the rest are kind of those flatty, and it's not a bad thing, but you know, those round drills that are almost like little buttons, you know, or like little tabs. These are much more like faceted, really super shiny, and they sit in the pen a little bit more because they've got a little bit of that cone to them, so they kind of go into the multi-placer and single placer a little bit more and grab the mud or wax, whatever you're using. And so I find that I can actually multi-place longer with a single stab of putty than I can with those like flatter ones. They just don't connect to the mud after a while once the mud gets pressed in, or the putty gets pressed in, or the wax. So they're just easier to work with. Diamond Art Club's another company that offers resin rounds, and so I've had a similar experience with those, where I just find myself going a little bit faster and liking the finish of those resin rounds. So I think I'm starting to become a drill. I used to say, I don't care, they can be whatever they want, and honestly, I'll work with whatever. I'm not going to be like, only this or only that. Like, I'll work with acrylic all day long. But I do notice a difference with the rounds for sure, depending on the shop. So that's what's going on with McKeeling. I'm looking forward to sharing that with everyone, and hopefully you like the changes. Apollo, I'm not even gonna say it. He's doing He's doing his salad bar. He's actually going kind of wild, but he was doing it on the hike. He's been pooping just fine. I can't, apparently that's something I can't fix. Unless I go through and spray all the grass before we go on the hike with like vinegar or something so he doesn't like it. But that's his new pastime is grass eating. But so yeah, that's McKeeling, and I think that's all my whips. I think that's everything. I feel like in my craft room I'm drowning in whips right now because of at least the ones that are partially finished, because I kind of set everything aside and then brought my Summer with the Master stuff out early. And of course, Lady with the Fan is just hanging there. It doesn't have any drills on it, but it is hanging there looking at me like, aren't you gonna work on me? It's just, I get a little overwhelmed when it's like something hanging off of two kits hanging off of the closet, and two kits hanging off of one of the like curtain mounts, and then a kit over here in the window or in the stairwell, and then one on the table. I just feel like overwhelmed by like active projects. I like a clean space, and it feels a little cluttered right now. So I think what I might do is move anything that's not Summer with the Masters starting June 1st into the closet. That way I'm not looking at it every day and I don't feel overwhelmed by it. So yeah, and then once Summer with the Masters is finished, I think what I'd like to do, just to clear my mind of the clutter, is to most likely just focus for a little while on getting a couple whips done, at least two. If I'm unable to get Star Maker done over the summer, McKeeling, Crimson Oracle, just like a lot of those kits that have been looking at me since, I looked up Crimson Oracle. I started that thing in October. So, and Crimson Oracle and Star Maker, I think I started in October and November, maybe respectively. And so it's just like, all right, well, we're coming up on 6 months, 7 months since I pulled these down, and both of them are like over halfway done. It's like, just knock them out. And I know if I devoted 2 weeks to each of them, they'd be done. They'd absolutely be done. But I just keep getting pulled to like other stuff. Like McKeeling, I want to get done just to show the difference in the color selections I made. Mousseline Lob Mousse, I just want to get in front of that because I don't want to be too far behind on Summer with the Masters, like just all that stuff. But I think I've come to terms that Mousseline Lob Mousse isn't going to get done. So maybe I can just let that go and just come back to it on June 1st and maybe just give myself the rest of this month, the week and a couple days that we have left of it to maybe I could really, push through and get Star Maker or Crimson Oracle done, just to have another one off my plate. But it just would be nice. It would be nice to have some finishes and get those painted and either hung or hung in the office, what have you. Yeah. I was even thinking of starting a Google Doc tab next to in my stash doc of my finishes that I don't plan on keeping. And then if someone's like, ooh, I'd love a completed piece, it's usually friends and family that want that stuff. I can be like, oh, perfect. Well, let me share this doc with you, and I'll link to either a photo album of like the finish, like the completed kit or something like that. Take a photo of each of them and link them. That way people can see the finished image. And if they're like, ooh, I'd love that, then I can just roll it up and set it aside for them or mail it to them. Just so for me, it's like at a certain point, hold on, stay, easy, good boy. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Excuse me. Come on, buddy. You're not paying attention. You're going to step on a cactus again. Come on. Come on. He's like running forward but looking back. Come on, go. Yeah, I think it'd be cool, like if I had a catalog of my finishes aside from like my logbook, or had a tracker with my finishes. That way, if someone does want one, they can flip through, they can hit the little link, it'll open up the photo of it. And if they want it, they can have it. And then also, it would be in the same doc that I've shared with everyone that has my stash. So who knows, maybe there is someone out there in the diamond painting community that has a friend that's been wanting them to work on a kit and you haven't gotten a chance to get one done, and it's on there and you're like, oh, I wouldn't mind throwing, a couple bucks at Anthony for shipping or whatever to get that finished so I can give it to someone that's been nagging me about a project. Or even if you have one that you've want to have done in your home and you just don't have the time or whatever to get it done, I could foresee myself trying to let go of some kits that way. I just don't think I'm going to be the person that holds on to every single finish that I have. I just don't have the space for it. I think it would feel a little cluttered. So I'm trying to think of ways like to get them out of the house. Because for me, there's certain images, of course, that I want to display and hang up. But more and more, I want those to be old masters and like fine art. And then probably hold on to some of my favorite artist pieces, like my Abraham Hunters, my Ivy Dollamores, my Yume Arts. But some of this other stuff, I'm like, yeah, I have it in my stash and it's nice, it's cute. It might be for like an event or something, or I'll have a lot of fun, but I don't think I'm gonna put that up in the house. Like a perfect example is the Wicked Witch from Enos Guerrero. That's such a cool image and like spooky and unique. I could totally see myself hanging that up during fall and Halloween time. But I also would, if someone was like, that is so awesome, that is such witchy vibes, I want it, I would happily give it to somebody. So I kind of want to start a little gallery. I guess maybe that's what we'll call it, like an online gallery where people can look at my finishes and decide if it's something they want to snag for them. And if I get to a certain point where I've got X amount of kits sitting around waiting for a home, I honestly don't think I would be too upset with letting stuff go in the form of throwing it. Just because, once again, like I just don't want to have stacks and stacks of finished canvases. And I don't think it'll grow that fast. I'm not a fast diamond painter, so I don't think the stack will grow that quickly. But like, for instance, right now I have Sternnebel, which is like this galaxy painting. It was I think my second kit that I ever did from Diamond Painting Deutschland. It's been rolled up since last year under my bed, and it's this massive like 60 by 120 or 50 by 120 square. I just don't have anywhere to put it, and I'm not super interested in hanging it. I might take it to the office and see if it'll fit in this one particular area, but if it doesn't, we have nowhere else to put it. So I'm like, okay, that's one that could probably go. And it seems crazy to throw away a giant canvas like that, but it's like, what am I? Apollo, hey. I think I might chase him a little bit. He's getting squirrely. I'm convinced that his grass eating is a means to gain attention, because he does it more in certain areas of our hikes where I notice he gets extra squirrely. And this is probably about it's not halfway, maybe a little bit further than halfway. So he'll start running a little bit farther from me. He won't listen. He wants to play chase. It's always in this little valley. And so I've noticed that when he gets in those moods, he wants to play. He wants me to really engage with him. So the grass eating is his way of getting my attention, because I feed that by going, oh, can you not? And so I've been trying to ignore it more. It's hard though. Apollo, come here. Rah, rah. Go, let's go. Go. Go! Go, go, go! So yeah, so it might just be a reaction. It's my fault. Come on, let's go. Oh my goodness. This way, sweetheart. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking there. Well, I kind of went on several different tangents there, but I'd like to get some whips done. Maybe one before Summer with the Masters, but definitely after Summer with the Masters, I might have a little bit of a pause on kitting stuff up and welcoming new projects into my life, because it is starting to feel a little bit overwhelming. And I feel so bad for like kits like Star Maker and Crimson Oracle, because the next shiny thing, Apollo, come here, this way, come on, go, 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 come here, baby, come here, Papa. Easy, stay. Easy. Thank you. There's a stream over here full of mud. So yeah, I just feel so bad for those kits, because it's not like I dislike them. It's just that there's always something, they're not grabbing me as much as they used to. So if I have the choice, or I'm giving myself the freedom to just kit up something all new in favor of finishing one of those, I almost always do it. I mean, they've been sitting there for months and months. Oh yeah, the stream is full. I don't think we're gonna play in the water today, buddy, because that grosses me out. I hope you guys can see. This thing is really full. You used to, just like a week ago, you used to be able to just jump right over that, and now it's, yeah, there's no way. And I'm not letting you get in that. That's gross. So, so yeah, I feel like I need to get them done. It'll help me feel less, not anxious, but just like less weighed down by like all of these whips. So yeah, I might change things up. I need to re-engage with Hannah over at Iterations Crafts. I'd really like to do a solo, like, not like, I've heard people call them non-events, or for fun events where there's a hashtag and stuff, but it's just on Instagram, casual things, you know, not like a ton of like sponsors and, you know, all that jazz. It's just kind of a fun event. But her artwork is in a lot of different shops. I personally have three custom images from her, and you can find her stuff at so many different places. And so I was like, you know what, it might not be a huge thing, but it might, you know, shine a spotlight on her artwork, and maybe I could have her host a live with me, or, you know, we could find some fun stuff to do and just make it really casual. And hey, if there's, you know, 10, 20 people that join along, I mean, I think it would be fun. So I was toying with the idea of doing that after Summer with the Masters, but then in my head I'm like, okay, Anthony, you're gonna finish Summer with the Masters in August, or in July. You'll have August and September. You'll have 2 months before you're back into it with XS 2023. Is that really practical to try to like mix in a new event from scratch in that time? I just don't think it is. So it might be a next year thing, but I think it'd be fun. Oh, we've got a convergence here. Hold on, I'm gonna have to pause you. Okie dokie. Usually we walk down next to the stream the whole time, but there's a lot of dogs playing down there, which I wouldn't mind if I brought a towel. Last time I let him do that, you were there for it. Even though I have the back seat cover, he shook and just annihilated the windows in the back, because I didn't bring a towel, and I just don't want to have to deal with that again. So maybe next time we come here, we'll bring a towel and we'll let him splash and play. He really wanted to, but we're gonna walk away from the water so he's not tempted to run back, and then I'll let him off the leash again. We just have to go uphill. to do that. So bear with me while I huff and puff. Oh my goodness. The other thing I guess I could do too is, I know people have suggested it before, is reach out to local libraries, different places, and see if they'd be interested in taking a finished diamond painting. I was even thinking one of my favorite pho restaurants, they might really like some of the like more like Asian inspired or themed kits that I have, like even Star Maker, I could see that hanging up there. They have a lot of sparkly like tiger stuff, so they might appreciate that. And then, you know, just stuff that I think is cool but I wouldn't hang up. I think I'm gonna start gravitating towards replacing some of my non-fine art kits with fancy stuff. Like I already know which wall I'd like Garden of Earthly Delights to go on until I build the cabinet for it. So, but that means my Ivy Dolomores have to come down, which is a shame, but I'll hold on to them. And then I know where Last Supper's going. This Moussenet Lob Mousse, I'll absolutely hang that for a while. I think that'll look really good somewhere. But there's a brewery in Golden that's called, it's called Coda Brewing. And their theme is very like biology and science-y. So they have like microscopes everywhere and just like different old books and beakers and all sorts of stuff. And on a couple of the walls, they have these illustrations. I don't think they're Ernst Haeckel, but they're like detailed illustrations of like different species of mushrooms, different species of this and that. And they're known for one of their beers has a particular kind of mushroom in it. And so they do like, they'll have like different leaves and the species of leaves, and it's all done in the similar stylings of Moussenet Lob Mousse. So that's kind of one of the inspirations when I bought that kit or that pattern. I was actually thinking of them and seeing that stuff in their brewery when I purchased that kit. I was like, oh, it looks just like the stuff at Coda. So I'm wondering if they would be interested in hanging that up if I was to offer it to them, because it's definitely of that style. Hey, buddy, come here. Come here, sweetheart. So yeah, we'll see. I think that would be cool if they were wanting to take that. But I don't know, those cross-stitch conversion projects, those might have to just stay with me just because of how pricey they are. It's like, oh, well, I don't know if I'm going to donate this to you or give it as a gift. You'd have to at least throw some money my way to cover the cost of those. So, what else has been going on diamond painting wise? So I think last time I said that we hadn't even gotten to event stuff. There's not really a ton to report there. Not a ton to report there. For Summer with the Masters, I need to reach back out to Katie. I feel bad. I messaged her to see if she would have some time to catch up this week on Saturday. Or wait, it was Friday. I don't remember. But when she got back to me, I was already headed up to the mountain. So I was like, I'll touch base with you as soon as I get back from camping. And I haven't yet. So I need to reach out to her. Maybe we can catch up in a couple days. Main things that I kind of wanted to go over at this stage. Apollo, come here. Come here. Come here, Bubba. Good boy. Stay. Thank you. Thank you, sweetheart. I want to go that way, but there's a little do not cross here, so I guess we'll just go straight. We've got some folks coming up, so heads up, you might get some pausing. Hopefully I can get through I keep saying I don't have a lot, and then I'm like, ooh, I only have about 15 minutes to chat.
Is that going to be enough to talk about nothing? Oh my goodness. Well, let this gentleman pass and then we'll be right back, okay? Bye. Okay, so we got through our little batch of folks here, and so we're coming up on our home stretch. But yeah, the event stuff is going really well. I think Katie and I are going to connect maybe once or twice more just to hammer out some more of the finer details. I know some folks have been asking about the sign-up sheet, so that's something that I need to coordinate with her, discuss, our prizes and how those are going to be given out. I think we're really lucky we got some cool sponsors, so I'm excited to share all of that with everyone as it comes to pass. But I think that'll be cool. And if anything, this experience so far has really helped me feel a lot more confident about either co-hosting or running an event myself. Katie's definitely shown me a lot and kind of already had a lot of the framework together for this entire thing. So it was just kind of plug and play, because she's not only been doing this event, but numerous other events over the past few years. So I think she's got a system down pretty well. And I think our minds are pretty in sync when it comes to like I don't know, I tend to like structure and I tend to if we can create a document or a tracker for it, then so I can take that info out of my brain and keep it stored somewhere else. That's what I like to do, and I feel like she's kind of the same way. So I feel like we'll be pretty in sync in that regard as well. So I'm excited. I think we're kind of getting to the point where we're really going to be collaborating more throughout this event. So I'm super stoked to kind of really get the ball rolling with this and hit the ground running on June 1st. So if you've been asking about a form for entry, all of that stuff will be coming very soon. I'm thinking, I haven't confirmed with Katie, but I'm most likely, once we have that date of when the form goes live, because I don't know if in previous years they've just done it the day the event starts, like you can start signing up midnight on June 1st, or if you're allowed to sign up days in advance or a week in advance, I have no idea. So I need to learn that, and so I'll figure that out. But overall, I just feel more confident of the process. It doesn't seem as daunting as it did prior. Even working on Cross Stitch Conversion 23, where we're working from the ground up and there's a Facebook group, that's all moved relatively smoothly as well. So I think it's just a matter of just doing it. So if you are a fairly new content creator, or you have this really cool idea about an event and you just don't know, I say go for it, because you'll kind of figure it out along the way. There's a lot of leeway. People are willing to have a lot of grace, and it's been fun. It's been fun. I thought it was going to be more on the stressful side of things. Just coordinating stuff can be a lot, and when there's other humans involved, even though I love everyone in this diamond painting family from Fast and Furious, the family, it's still, interacting with that many people and answering questions. It's a lot of what I do in my normal job. So I was just worried, like, ooh, is this going to be a lot? But I've felt pretty good. Of course, the event hasn't started yet, so of course things may change. But as it stands, like, people have been asking really good questions, and I've been able to respond to their comments. But I think the main thing is, like, people just want to sign up and get going, So we're gonna work on all of that. But yeah, if I feel more emboldened to do my own events. I think I'd like to do one focusing on, I think I mentioned it when we were down over by the water. I'd love to do an event sometime, maybe next year, focusing on Iterations Crafts and all of Hannah's artwork. I think that would be fun. Other than that, I think it would be even cool to do events that are maybe focused on I've seen like winter with DAC, so it's like all Diamond Art Club, but something else like that too, like just like even like an Enablers Outpost event or something like that. I don't know. I'd have to talk to all of these shops, of course, but I don't know. I'm just trying to think of like different categories that maybe haven't been explored before. Apollo, come on. Let's go. Good boy. Come on. Go, go, go. Go, go, go. So yeah, just different categories. I don't know. I definitely want to do the Iterations Crafts one. Maybe there'll be some others along the way, but yeah, just something like that. And it's taught me how to engage with sponsors, and yeah, also I feel like it's been a good way to get kind of guided through this, because Katie's done it multiple times over the past few years. So yeah, so that's it for Summer with the Masters updates. Cross Stitch Conversion 2023 updates. Not a lot to provide you with there. I've been pretty hands off on that Facebook group, so I hope things are going okay over there. I need to invest more time into looking at it. My admin day for all things diamond painting is Thursdays when I'm at Scott's hockey game, and I had the intention of hopping on that Facebook and really getting in there, but I got to the hockey game late on Thursday, and so I only had like 30 minutes, and my first order of business is to respond to YouTube comments, so I had just barely finished that before the game ended, and so I didn't get time to do my Facebook stuff. But I'm thinking that my comments will be a little bit less because I haven't posted a ton in the past week, so I'm thinking I'll be able to crank through comments and then jump on that Facebook group and play around in there for a little bit. But sticking to that one day a week to get in the thick of things with comments and like admin stuff has been helpful for me, just to let that be what it is, because I used to be very much a serial on my phone, like always on Facebook, checking through Instagram, running through YouTube. Like any spare moment I had, I was like trying to respond to stuff or engage in stuff like in the moment, but that just consumes a lot of my time and a little bit of social energy too. So I've really stepped away from being as obsessed, I guess, with it. So this one day a week where I just do my comments and my engagement stuff has really been helpful, because then I can focus on actually diamond painting or going to movies with friends and not like looking at my phone every 10 seconds, or and spending more time with Apollo and going camping. And I'm really trying to wean myself off of the eat, sleep, and breathe content creation. Once again, I love everyone with all my heart, and if I had the bandwidth to do it all, I would. But yeah, this summer I'm trying to set some personal boundaries, or just personal as in with myself, of don't cancel plans so you can record videos, or don't show up late to stuff because you wanted to sit and finish editing, or don't bail on a camping trip so you can get that one last section done or whip done. And I kind of did that a little bit last year, and I think it took a little bit of a toll on some friendships and stuff. Not a ton, I didn't lose any friends or anything, but I could definitely tell, I don't know, I just got the vibe of because all I would talk about is diamond painting, and then I'd be not doing stuff with anyone. I'm sure if some of my friends were like, I think he's just sitting at home and diamond painting again tonight. And I'm really trying to get away from that. So you'll see less content during the summer, outside of Summer with the Masters. You'll probably see just majority that stuff. And lots of vlogging, but not a lot of behind the table. But anyway, Cross Stitch Conversion 2023. I'm so sorry. We're almost to the card and we haven't talked about it. Not a lot to report there. Oh, because of the Facebook group. The Facebook group's going strong. I don't know if we're at 100 members yet, but we're inching our way there. I try to check it and add shops to the approved shop list. If you have asked for one and you haven't seen it, you just at me. that way it shows up as a direct notification for me, because otherwise I have to like go and dig in the post and check to see if they've all been added, and then check to see if Hannah's done it or if Sophie might have done it. So if you are specifically thinking, Anthony, I want you to add this to the list, just at Anthony Harper on that Facebook group. Let's go. That way I can make sure I do that on Thursdays. But we'll get it in time. Hannah's pretty much Hannah and Sophie, but I've seen a lot of interaction Hannah's had on that Facebook group. And so she's also a really good go-to if you need something added. Just at her on the Facebook group. She'll help you out. And she's been, I think for the most part, been the one to approve most of the members. I try to go in there, but she seems pretty on top of it. So thank you so much, Hannah and Sophie, for working on that, because I have been really slacking on the Facebook group. Other than that, we haven't had a meeting in quite some time about the event. We kind of got our bearings together and got the announcement video up in the Facebook group running. So now it's just kind of a quiet period until we get closer to the event, which starts halfway through October. Apollo, come here. Come here, Baba. Hut, 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 hut. Oh, Goober. My knees hurt from hiking on Saturday, but I'll bend over a little bit. Okay. So yeah, we're just in a little bit of a lull until basically, and probably for me, until after Summer with the Masters. Of course, I will try to sneak in some more cross-stitch conversion lives. But if there's camping to be done, if there's outdoorsy stuff to be done, then I'll just, remind Hannah and Sophie, like, hey, if you want to do it, or I don't know if they need a reminder, but if they ever want to do it, they are more than welcome. I'll just try to sneak them in when I can. It was a lot of fun. The one that we did do was a lot of fun. So we'll bring that back. But yeah, just kind of think about your cross-stitch conversions that you might want to do. No new starts, no finishes, nothing like that. It's all just whip out your whip, as Katie will say. So yeah, we're getting up to the car, so I think I'm gonna let you go, but thank you so much for coming with me on this little hazy day walk. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share this content with friends, family members, anyone that you think might take some value out of this content. Otherwise, happy placing. We'll see you next time. Say bye. Oh, my knees. Oh, your dad's getting old. Oh, my knees. All right, you did good, Bubba. Let's get you some water. Okay, everyone. Bye.